Hi guys, Vipin here. Now, before I get to today's topic, that is the irony of tobacco laws, let me give you a quick history about how tobacco was being sold once upon a time in this world. Now, if you look at that advertisement there, you can see how tobacco companies like Marlboro encourage people to smoke. Now, once upon a time, tobacco was something wherein you would be able to acquire provided that you are someone who is quite well off. Smoking was something which was exclusive to the classes which were quite wealthy. So, if you wanted to show your status symbol, this we're talking about in the 1930s, the 1940s, and the 1950s, there wasn't really much of luxury items you could buy and showcase your wealth. So, one way they could show that they're well off is by smoking. Now, over the years, the prices of tobacco has come down significantly compared to how it was once upon a time. Remember when I told you that it was affordable only by the wealthy, it was quite expensive back then. But now it's practically affordable by everybody. So, coming to what irony of tobacco laws really talks about. Now, Government of India is the largest manufacturer of tobacco. They also happen to be the largest advertiser of smoking is injurious to health campaigns. Now, you can see the irony here. In one way, you are selling tobacco, and in the other direction, you're telling people not to buy and you're telling people not to use your product. So, here we have our guests Priyanka and Shivani to discuss about the irony of tobacco laws. Do you think that anti smoking campaigns in India are effective?
I don't think anti-smoking campaigns in India are effective because at the end of the day, people who smoke continue to smoke even after the campaign. Anti-smoking campaignings are like any other advertisement which we see on the television. If there's advertisement coming up, we switch the channel, or we actually switch the channel.
Basically, the human attention span is really short.
Yeah.
If you were to see anything at all, we look at it once and we tend to ignore it later. Shivani, your take on the matter?
Yeah, I do think that anti-smoking campaigns are effective only if they are brought about in such a way that it helps people to quit smoking and make an attempt to quit. Like, you can go about, like, you interview former smokers or people who've quit smoking and ask them their opinions on how they've undergone the suffering. And like, people who don't smoke like live for like 20 years more, and people who smoke, like, they might die like 20 years earlier. And
So, a good motivational campaign,
Yeah.
something which is able to be like an eye opener. That's a way in which a campaign can be put forth. Rather than blatantly telling people smoking is injurious to health. That's a message that will stay in our head for a second and go out of our heads the next. So, the campaign has to be something which is memorable, which people are able to relate to. Now, my next question to you all is a lot of people are not aware that smoking in public places is an offense. What do you think can be done to combat this problem?
I think some of the IT companies have this place which is particularly only for smoking.
Yeah, a designated smoking zone.
A designated smoking zone. But that's not present everywhere possible, like on busy roads like MG Road, Brigade Road, which are at present most of the happening places in Bangalore. We do not have them there. So if possible, we could make them present over there and make people, like the smokers, aware that there's a place precisely for them to smoke, and maybe make it more attractive or something, so that people are attracted to go to those places and smoke only over there. So to an
Fine.
extent we reduce it.
That makes sense. Shivani,
okay, this is law in India which has come out, which is effective from October 2nd, 2008, that which prohibits smoking in public places. But I don't think any people, like, I don't think many people, they may be aware about the law, but I don't think they follow it. But things like, maybe you do something through an NGO, some campaign, like in where you have more crowd, more public, maybe be it MG Road or maybe in malls, that to grab the attention of the people and make them aware that smoking in public places is an offense and how it will affect non-smokers.
the people around them.
Yeah, the people around them, and because passive smoking is more injurious than active smoking, and this is how
That's one way in which they could combat the problem. Tell people that there are better places where you could actually go and smoke rather than disturb the people who are around you. Fine. Now, coming to the irony of tobacco laws, the main topic for today, the Government of India is the largest producer of tobacco in this country, and being the largest producer of tobacco is also the largest advertiser of tobacco, telling people smoking is injurious to health. Why not put a complete ban on the thing altogether?
Okay, there cannot be put a complete ban on tobacco production and sale of tobacco because a large population of India and the world basically is mainly dependent on tobacco. Like you, for example, you take out your a favorite TV channel, like people will start protesting or they'll be like, we want it back. Like for tobacco, I don't think you can do it, and it will not only big shot companies or the government, which will affect, it will affect even the small shops and retailers who are dependent on the sale of tobacco.
Yes,
And
in fact, a big part of India, you would have seen those little shops where their main source of income itself is the sale of tobacco.
Yeah.
So these guys are going to be hit really hard.
Yeah, and even the farmers of tobacco.
Yes, farmers of tobacco also, they will be will face a revenue
yeah,
shortage.
because maybe for the farmers who like produce only tobacco, like they might have land which is suitable only for the production of tobacco, and you
Yes.
suddenly say like you don't, there's no need of production of tobacco. They will not know what to do. They will have that land, no one will be ready to buy that, and they will not have the cash to buy anything else, and they will not know what to do for their
And even
source
the
of
big
living.
companies, I mean, their main income may be from tobacco, and you just pull it out. It may affect the Indian economy or even the revenue that comes into the
Yes, a
government.
big part
also.
of the revenue that we get is through the sale of tobacco. There's a good possibility that would certainly be affected.
And even for the chain smokers, like maybe it's something they may start smuggling it inside the country, and there may be more smuggling. There's already too much.
Yes, I remember this because in the 1970s, not that I'm very old and I was there in the 1970s, there was a temporary ban on Coca-Cola, and they found a way to smuggle Coca-Cola through Nepal. So there is a good possibility that people might find innovative ways to get the commodity into this country. So, Priyanka, Shivani, thank you for coming on this discussion for today. I hope you guys become recurring guests.
Sure, sir.
Would you be?
Yes, sir.
Good. I have your evidence on camera right now. Thank you guys. Have a nice day. See you all.